Hey, I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors. And today we're going to talk about making a small packable stove from a bean can. My friend Terry Brady called me and said that he's seen this on our page often, me posting this on how to make a small stove out of a bean can. And he said I should do a video on it. So here we are doing a video on making a bean can into a small packable lightweight stove that will burn. So you could put an alcohol stove down in, a pop can alcohol stove down in, a sterno can, some little briquettes of charcoal you could use, or what we're going to use here today is wood. Alright, so you got to start out with a plain old bean can. It don't have to be a giant one, just a good sized large bean can. And take it and tear the label off of it. It's going to have that plastic coating in it, but that doesn't matter because we're just going to use it for a stove. And then you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need a knife or a punch of some sort to make your vent holes, and you're going to need a pair of tin snips. And I've got all this ready to go here for us today. So here, let's just get to it real quick, all right? All right, so first thing is you take your bean can, and you're going to want to poke some holes. You open up one end of it, keep the other end closed. You're going to poke some holes down near the bottom of it like this, like right around here. And just take your punch out of your pocket knife, or like I said, you can use a screwdriver. You poke a good hole, and you're not going to want a ton of holes. You're just going to want, like, 3, maybe 4 big ones, like that. See? You can even take them and trim off that edges so you don't stab yourself with it. Let's go one here, like that. Since these are smaller holes than I'm used to, I'm going to add one more. Well, I don't know. These are pretty good. It's pretty good vents, but we'll just add a couple more just for laughs, all right? And you put them down near the bottom. Now, you don't want them all the way in the bottom, because when you use an alcohol stove, pop can alcohol stove, you're going to want to have enough thing in the bottom that you can use a prime, all right? So when you pour a little bit of your heat or denatured alcohol in, we'll trim off those edges there so we don't get ourselves hung up on them. And I know this is not proper knife etiquette because, we're using it, but I'm using a punch anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Alright, so we got 3 or 4 holes. But yeah, you don't want it all the way on the bottom, because you're going to, like I said, when you put an alcohol stove in there, a pop can alcohol stove, you're going to want to be concerned about being able to put a little bit in the bottom for your prime for it. So okay, we got us a few holes in there like that. I'll put that away. Then you're going to take your tin snips like this. It's an old pair of tin snips, and you're literally going to just go down here and you're going to cut your can. Usually right down to the ribs. Where the ribs are around it, that's how far you're going to do it. You're going to do 3 of those. You're going to make 3 squares like that. Then you want to be careful because, like I said, you don't want to cut yourself. You're going to take those and you're going to bend them out where you cut. Alright? Got me so far? Like that. And then you can trim those off with your snips. And there you are. You can, move those back up or trim them off a little more closer, so that way we're hitting it by fire. Just trim those right off like that. And they don't got to be pretty. As you can see, mine aren't very even. And they don't have to be pretty because, it's a pop can. You can beat it in there a little bit. Now, you're going to set your pot or a Sierra cup on top of it to cook with. So what you're going to want to do is just bend these in just a little bit whenever you use it. Just bend it in. That way the pot or the Sierra cup will sit on there, and if you got a little issue with it, just make a little snips right there. See? On each side. Especially the bigger parts like that. And that'll help it bend in a little. Alright? Like I said, we don't want to get cut on this, so we're trying to trim them off. Alright, so there we are. And that's pretty much your stove right there. And like I said, you can bend them in so your pot or your Sierra cup or a bucket or whatever can sit on top. You can set it on top of there, and it'll sit pretty stable if you got it on a good log. You got to sit on the ground. And to get it lit up, we're going to have a little fun here. We're going to go ahead and light this one up. We'll get some sticks. Oop, knocked it off there like that. Gonna get some sticks here, little small sticks. And like any fire, you know, be prepared. Start small and build big. I got this little fire going here, burning off my fire pit in the backyard. You know, backyard outdoors and all. But I'm not going to use any of the coals out of that, although you could. You know, just sit that there. But what we're going to do instead, I got my handy dandy little tiny mini Altoid box out here and a lighter. Now you can go flint and steel if you want, or you can do all that other stuff, or a match, but don't make yourself crazy. All right, we'll open that up, and I've got some Vaseline covered cotton balls. All right, in my little Altoid tin. And what we're going to do is we'll light that up. Drop that in there. Drop that in there like that. And then we'll just add our sticks. Now if you've got some punt wood, that would be even better. Keep yourself a long stick so you can reach down there and adjust it so it'll fit in. That way you can get your sticks over the top. And like I said, you can use charcoal on this, or you could use some coals like we are for, you know, we could use some coals from our fire. Or you could use a sterno can in there, or any of those things. Now, with this size can or stove, you're not going to be able to go very big sticks. But trust me, you'll be able to get enough to boil yourself some water. Okay, looks like we're off to the races here. And like I said, once she gets going, be careful, folks, because it will be hot. That whole can will get hot, so you're not going to want to touch it until you dump it out, stop it out, put it out. And what you want to do is you don't want to come up above your rims here, because you know, you're going to set your pot on top. Let's see what else we got going here. And as you can see, she's going pretty good. Of course, that Vaseline covered cotton ball doesn't hurt nothing either. I need to throw some leaves in there just for laughs and giggles. Careful not to smother it out. You see, it shouldn't smother out because you got all these lids or holes down through here down the bottom. All right. Yeah, see, here we go. And if you look, sometimes you'll see the fire coming out the vent holes. But again, remember, it can be very, very hot, you know, once it gets going. Ah, too much smoke. Shouldn't have put them leaves on there. That's all right. You're getting my message. Oh yeah, our sticks are going good now. All right. So there it is. As per our friend Terry Cooper's request, I've just showed you how to make your very own bean pot packable camp stove. And trust me, it works really, really well. I've got one in one. I usually carry one with me when I'm going on my day hikes and stuff, and I just want a cup of coffee or some hot chocolate, or maybe a little, you know, a little thing of ramen noodles or anything like that. And you can pretty much cook it in here if you want. You could even, you know, if you really want to get fancy, you could lay other green sticks across the top and use it like a little grill too. But generally, I just use, you know, have a can of stew or soup or something like that, and set it on top and just stir it and keep things going. So hey, that's your portable bean can cook stove. And I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors.